He's an actor, he's a content creator, he's a writer, and he's a talented individual. Isn't he lovely? Everybody, we're in for a treat because Andy Viviano, a.k.a. Alessandro Viviano, is on the Productive Conversations podcast today. What's up, brother?
Wow, does everybody get that kind of welcome? Because I think you're laying it on pretty thick, Matt. I'm not that great.
I like your honesty. I think I'm just telling the truth about everybody. So, yes, that's the case.
Okay, hey, listen, I'll take the compliment where it's given. I appreciate you, my friend.
Oh, man, I appreciate you, too. We got a nice setup. We've got Manhattan's own with probably the greatest hair flow I've seen in a while, and I'm not just saying that. It's awesome, man.
I appreciate it. Listen, if it's not too dangerous, I'll bust it out.
Please bless us.
Okay, all right. We'll start
if you
then.
want.
We'll get back to business. We'll get back to business after this. You got a nice little. Yeah. All right. Nice little flow going on here. But okay, here's the thing. I'm going to donate it. The whole idea was at the start of the pandemic, I wanted to help. So I was like, maybe I'll grow my hair and then donate it.
Wow.
So I need 12 inches to donate, and I want to keep some of it. So I'm going to donate it when it gets warm again, because it's way too cold to cut any hair off my head.
Right. So this really helps you out, the long hair look, huh? At least right now in the winter.
The practicality of it is next to none, Matt. Like, I can cover my ears with no hat. And, I've been golfing. Oh, man, have I been golfing? Winter golf with long hair. So I've been called Tommy Fleetwood many times.
Dude, I respect it. I see it. Is this the first time you've had really long hair in your life?
Yeah, honestly, the longest I've had my hair before this was no longer than probably 6-7 inches. Yeah, this is by far the longest I've ever had my hair. But I've seen, my dad had the big hair in the 80s, very long hair. So I come from a long line of long-haired Italian gentlemen.
Right. And so with all this, like, did you just let it go? Did you have to grow a certain way? Did you have to take certain, I don't know, supplements? Like some people I've heard, or it's just God's natural ability, I guess.
Uh-oh. Are you hearing things about hair supplements, Matt?
The only time I've ever heard a situation like that was they always said, the actor Jeremy Piven.
Yeah, sure.
I remember he once said he took HGH to grow a beard.
Okay.
But that's interesting, but that's all I've heard. But what can you do to get pretty in this world?
I use a bunch of Head and Shoulders. Unfortunately, during the winter, I have some dandruff. But honestly, aside from that, nothing really.
Right.
It's just I just kind of let it flow. So aside from my dandruff, don't let that get out, Matt. You're gonna have to cut that.
So I mean, if it's good for Patrick Mahomes and Troy Polamalu, why not for you? Why not for you?
Greatness personified right there.
Absolutely, bro.
Talking about that, I mean, Mahomes is different. Different, man. He really is.
Oh, I definitely want to get into our update talking about the sports world. But firstly, I want to talk with you, Andy. And do you want it to be Andy or Alessandro?
Well, see, here's the thing. For everyone who doesn't know, Matt and I go way back. We go back to college. And,
yes, sir.
My real name, my given name is Alessandro Viviano, very Italian.
Right.
And the reason I was given this name was because for 7 days, and I shit you not, 7 days I was unnamed because my parents were fighting over what to name me. My mom wanted Gabriel. My father wanted Dante. So my dad won the fight. After 7 days, he got the Italian name. So he's like, his name's Alessandro Viviano. Big Italian name. And my mom's like, all right, but we're going to call him Andy. And I'm telling you, like, every single all of my friends from my youth, everybody who knows me calls me Andy. But, it's we're getting to the branding station of my life. And Alessandro Viviano does have a certain brand ring to it. So
Definitely. It sticks out. I don't know any other Alessandro John Viviano, so
that's what I'm saying. So
duh.
there's a couple other Andys out there. So don't worry. So Matt obviously knows me as Andy. So obviously during this conversation, Andy's perfect. But if you're looking to hire an actor, director, or camera, you want to contact Alessandro.
Alessandro Viviano. Excellent, brother. Excellent. So, for Andy Alessandro, so maybe you want to just be called John, but my great guest at this time, I want to get into your content creation.
Okay, sounds like a plan. I mean, I for the longest time I resisted TikTok. I just didn't want to be on it. I thought it was going to be a waste of time, and I was worried about getting sucked in, really, like so many other people I know. But after a while, I kind of just decided that shit makes me laugh. Like honestly, in my life, shit makes me laugh, and I know that if I'm laughing, somebody else out there will find it pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. Ever since 2021, I've started this year with a vigor and energy, all
Hmm.
positive, trying to leave behind all negative thoughts, any thoughts of, I don't know, shame that you would feel if something's not as funny as you would want it to be.
Hmm.
I kind of took away a filter that I had put on myself. No one had put this filter on me, but I had held myself to a certain standard of image. And honestly, it's
Right.
2021, and fuck that. We all spent a year fucking inside
For sure.
on ourselves and trying to figure out where we are in this world. And that's kind of what I decided. I decided that, like, if something makes me laugh, it'll probably make someone else laugh. If something
Yeah.
moves to a point to post, like, someone else probably is going through that same kind of emotional and intellectual action. So maybe, help them out. And listen, if somewhere down the line I happen to come into some money, that would be wonderful too.
Dude, I really love your candor in this. So you would say this is as a result of, obviously everyone's lives changed last year. And you really wanted to just do what you want and love as a content creator. So it seems you got the confidence to just do whatever you want amongst this, and the audience will come in the following. But if you believe in your own product, that's just half the battle. So you would agree that's your real motivation in this with
Exactly, brother.
TikTok and all that?
Exactly, brother. Honestly, I think it's just a bridge to connect with more people, and the more people I can connect with, the more people I can help. I mean, I think of acting and storytelling as a form of therapy. Like, I really
Yeah.
do. I really believe that people, the common person, everyone, has a really hard time tackling their emotions and feelings head on, and has a way easier time viewing a character go through those same emotions in that same life moment,
Yep.
and watching how they deal with it, because then they actually cathartically release through the story. Maybe I'm not making sense, but
No, you're loud and clear. The best part about, for instance, filmmaking, content creation, and creating social videos, acting on stage and on screen. The point of all the storytelling is the biggest emphasis is getting characters that we connect with, even in the most insane genres.
yeah,
Like if you even like a Luke Skywalker at Star Wars is just a kid who's trying to live up to live it out of his dad's shadow, make something of himself. So
exactly.
when you're creating your content, wherever it is, whether it's you know, the bagel shop you work at,
Of course,
Subway in New York, you're just creating something that probably all New Yorkers connect with, but also just people at work connect with. I
it's a
think that's
slice
really
of life.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
slice of life, a slice of truth, for sure. That's what we're going for.
What is your favorite TikTok you've made so far?
Um, that's a tough one. So
Or
there's
one
this.
of your favorites. It doesn't have to be the very favorite, but
I mean, to be honest, I think my content. So I started off. I was an amateur TikTok. Obviously, there's a learning curve. People are
right,
really good at making TikToks. Like, this is a people make a living off of this. So
for
you
sure.
gotta get, you gotta learn the lingo. And it took me a little bit. I started this year, so I'm still only in my second month of TikTok ever. By the way, at Alessandro John Viviano on TikTok.
Yes. It was
Got it.
definitely going to plug after that for sure.
No
Yes, good.
worries, no worries. But I made a TikTok about Matt LaFleur's decision to kick a field goal last night.
Yes.
And I think it's pretty incredible. I think it's good. I used a SpongeBob sound bite when Mr. Krabs is offered money, everything in this rich man's wallet, in this rich man's pocket for SpongeBob, like as a worker. Mr. Krabs ponders whether to take the 62 cents, and he takes the 60 over SpongeBob. So I made Mr. Krabs, Matt LaFleur, taking a chance to go down 5 points, which is
Yep.
inexcusable as a head coach.
Not
And
with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter of the conference championship.
I mean, yeah, when the best player on the field, arguably, is your quarterback, and you need 3 yards, and he got you there, and he's always got you there. It's a rookie head coach call. We could get into this in a little bit,
For
but
sure.
yeah, I really like. I made a couple of TikToks about the NFC Championship game, which are pretty funny, and then also
I think
one of
so
my
too.
I appreciate that. One of my very first TikToks I made was on the golf course, and it was me and 3 of my friends playing winter golf, and there's like hundreds of geese, like
Oh yeah.
yards away, and we're teeing off, and it's Van Cortlandt Park. Shout out Van Cortlandt. So the tee box is fucking destroyed. It does not look like a tee box. It's just dirt. And you know, my brother Joey, he hits his drive, very nice, just straight over the birds. The next video is Gabe, my friend, straight over the birds, right down the middle. My third friend Michael steps up. He's a little less experienced, and he takes a whack, and the ball goes directly on I would say, a 12-degree angle to the right.
Ooh, the splice.
Yeah,
Man.
an immediate, and it was just perfect. And that one makes me laugh every time I look at it. So, thank you for asking. Those are my favorites so far, I guess.
Absolutely. And I expect you to go viral with your look. As you
Oh,
said, your own original part as a content creator. And why not? I like your push to make it forward. And I really connect the same way when I made the podcast. I just
yeah.
I definitely have aspirations for it, but at first I just want to do the podcast just to do it, catch up with you people like you, and then just show how awesome our guests are as individuals and always productive in other ways. And
Yeah, and then you'll have this in 25 years when we're producing movies. Crazy.
absolutely, man. You know who does one? Brian Koppelman, creator of
Yeah,
Billions, does a
literally.
side podcast. I mean, the list goes on with people working in the industry and just do a podcast on the side too. So, and there was just one, as you know, I'm also doing production on the behind the scenes side. Just want to be a producer. And then there was as this pandemic was going on and still still qualified for jobs. I remember I just got a no from a job at an old internship of mine that I was qualified for, and the automatic email said, we think there's other candidates who have more qualifications, but I've worked here previously, and I have the years of experience and all the stuff you're looking for.
Right.
And then it was just one more no that I said, you know what, I'm gonna make my own content. These people are gonna miss out, and if I can, not to toot my own horn, but we're just about 3 months in. We had 863 downloads and about 13,000 YouTube views. And I did that by myself from scratch with 3 months. Imagine
Yeah,
what I can do for a production company or conglomerate and stuff. So that's how I really want to say it.
I love that. My mantra this year is 2021, ready? Level
Mm-hmm.
up. 2022, double up.
Oh man, we triple up at 23 and then
Stop it, bro.
quadruple at 24 and rising and rising. So
Dang. Yo, I honestly think we're going into the roaring 20s here. I'm excited.
I'm prepared. I'm prepared for it.
Me
And
too, bro. I like that. I like that energy. I like that energy a lot.
seriously. So that's how I just figured this. I could just make these credentials for not only just to show my creativity, not only to show my passion to do, it's just my passion to create content for various audience, but also just myself. And I know that the audience will follow, and then someone will give me an opportunity to work again. So that's why this podcast is here. That's why I will stay here. It will continue to grow even once I start working again.
Hell yeah, baby.
Hell yeah. Yo.
Yeah.
All right. Switching gears from our content creations, you with TikTok, me with podcasts, Andy, You
Just
are
on
an actor. I've
yeah, man.
seen you in short films. I've seen you on stage. I've seen you in ad campaigns. First things first, why don't you tell my listeners what you've been up to, what your aspirations with acting, like what you've been doing, pre this
George.
time, and then what you hope to do in the future with acting, and where you
Sure.
come from in your background.
Absolutely. So I both my okay, how should I
Tell me
so
about. Tell me about. I'll walk you. I'll walk you into it. So first, Andy.
lay this out real slow for me. I'm pretty. I gotta listen slow.
I love you, man. Listen. So, Andy, you come from an acting family. Both your parents are
That's,
actors. Both your parents have worked on Broadway. Is this where your aspirations become an actor, following in their footsteps?
you know, I so basically, yes, it is both. It is very true. Both my parents are actors. So always when I was growing up, I had people in the business around me. See, I didn't know this. Growing up, I was a very energetic, you could say ADD based child.
Right.
And I need constant energy, efficient activity. So I decided they first when I was like 3 or 4, they put me in a dance class, and I was bouncing all over the rooms like no one can contain me. So
Mhm.
then I saw all my friends playing sports, and I was like, I want to play sports. So my parents sat down. They had a very in-depth conversation. They were like, okay, we're gonna let him do what he wants, and if he wants to get back to the arts, whatever, he'll make that choice on his own.
Right.
So I grew up on the Upper West Side, born and raised, New York City.
Mhm.
Let's go, baby. Um, I grew up playing every sport I could. The only sport I really couldn't play was football because there's no football in New York City. There's only a
Yeah.
couple tackle football teams. But I played basketball, baseball, soccer, lacrosse, no hockey, can't skate. Do not catch me on skate. You won't catch me on skates. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
But I grew up, and then in high school, I I'd always sung. Like I was always been in choir and stuff. I always knew I was like naturally could sing and do things of that nature.
Right.
But in high school, I accompanied a friend to an audition for this theater program. And this theater program was set up for children who had been on Broadway, who had aged out of being children on Broadway and were too young to play teens or adults on Broadway. So it
Right.
was like a weird intermediate. And it was like this professionally styled company, theater company in New York City that had really, really talented kids. So I went with my friend just as moral support, and they ended up offering me a part in the show. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. Like, I went home and
How did
told.
you get the part? Did they just see you, just like you got it? Like you just
Well, yeah,
happened to go really good?
I went with my friend to the audition as like moral support, and I sang a song. Like
Oh,
I
okay,
did,
cool, cool.
yeah, I sang a song just because like I knew how to sing. Like I knew what
Yeah.
I was saying, you know. So I did that audition and they offered me a part, and I remember coming home and I was like, I don't know, mom, like it could be fun, like why not? Like I was also playing basketball and baseball in high school on varsity at that time, so
Hmm.
had no not didn't really have time to do much else. But she was like, if you do this play, you're gonna be an actor, and I fucking know it. And I'm like, I don't know about that. The play was Rent, and it's all about like community love and like the love of the arts and creation. It's all
Right.
about that, all that beautiful bullshit that will take a 17-year-old and make him into an actor. So that's what fucking happened.
How
And
about that? It's a real Troy Bolton, huh?
I guess, hey man, I've heard the comparison before, and honestly, every time someone would say it, I'd be like, I'd take like real pride in that.
You know
I
who?
wasn't a point guard though in high school. I wasn't a Troy Bolton, like I wasn't a scorer. Like no, I'm like an intangibles guy. Like I get boards, I take charges, lots of hustle.
You're the enforcer. You know
Yeah.
you know who played sports and also did who also acted? Kirk Cousins. You could find the clip of him singing, and he's really good. He's got a good voice in there.
I bet. Hey man, Justin Tucker is like a world-renowned opera singer. You knew that?
I actually did see that. I've seen that clip before. And
Yeah.
John David Washington was played at Morehouse, and obviously now he's rising in Hollywood. It's awesome to
He's doing
see.
his thing. Tenant, yeah.
Oh yeah. So I
I
mean,
haven't
it's
seen it
plenty
yet.
of
I haven't
people.
seen it yet. We could
Tenet,
talk. Yeah.
Tenet's fun. I
Okay,
liked it.
I'll give it a look. I'll give it a look.
It's a Nolan movie, so
I love Nolan. I love
you get
Nolan.
a headache after, but you're
Yeah,
still inspired.
7 layers of thinking there.
All right, all right. So you get the bug, you decide this is what I want to pursue. Then you
Yeah,
decided to what? I guess you assume you just at that point just went all like the big esteemed school, theater programs out there
yeah,
for stage to screen.
pretty much. I was well, okay. So I was young, and I was like, okay, musical theater, like that's where I belong. Like I'm gonna do musical theater. So I was the first ever person from my high school, my Lower East Side private high school, Quaker high school, Friends Seminary, go Owls. Um, listen, great school, wonderful school. We had meeting for worship, 20 minutes of silence twice a week together as a whole upper school. It was wild. Um,
Low key, that sounds nice in a crazy
it was
world.
wonderful. It was very therapeutic. My
Yep.
freshman year, I slept through it. My sophomore year, I started to appreciate it. My junior year, I really appreciated it. And my senior year, I spoke once. So let's just, I experienced the full transformation.
As you said,
Anyway,
go Owls.
yeah, go Owls, baby. So I was the first person to apply for musical theater from my high school, I think ever. My college counselor had no idea how to handle it. She was like, you know how to handle this. Like you could do this. So I would have to literally go into auditions. I don't know if you know about the musical theater college audition process. Do you have any idea?
Yeah, I have a familiarity with it, but if you want to
Yeah,
like talk with tell the
I'll do
audience,
a long story short.
yeah.
Absolutely. So basically, if you want to go to musical theater college, you have to first get into the university that the college that the specific program has. So like if you wanted to go to the Michigan musical theater program, you have to get into Michigan first.
Hmm.
And like Hartford, wherever, Point Park, whatever, all of
Right,
these,
Carnegie Mellon and
Elon, Harlan
NYU, all
Mellon.
that.
Yeah, and some of these are very, very good schools. Um, Second of all, if you then get in, you audition. Like either you have to go to the school to audition, or there's these things called unifieds, where all the schools come into New York City, or they did. They didn't do it for the pandemic, obviously.
Right.
They all come into New York City and have a week in the winter. It would be happening literally like next week or so, where they audition hundreds of high school students like for their college programs, and there's like hundreds of schools that come. They have one in New York, they have one in LA, they have one in Chicago. I'm pretty sure they have one in the South as well. So it's like a huge deal.
How
And
about
like
that?
and it happens in like 3 weekends or 4 weekends. So I did all those auditions, and I walked out of the U Miami audition, and they were like, we think you're really dope. We're gonna offer you a full ride. And I was like,
Mm,
bet. Like I was so excited. Like
the
I was gonna
U.
go. Yeah, the U. Yo, bro, let's go. I was going to go to the U. Everybody knew. Like my college counselor. Everything was signed, sealed, delivered. 2 weeks before decision date. I think it's May 1st or April. One of the decision date. They like we're set. We're like ready to sign. We're like, hey, like just want to sign. Like blah blah, blah all this stuff. They go, hey, so we lost the full ride to the football team.
Ooh.
So it's $78,000 a year. And we were like,
Yeah.
no. I mean, we really tried to find the money, like to
Damn.
find scholarships and grants. Didn't work out, which is fine. It's a
Mm.
moment. It's a passing moment. But we went. Hartford was the closest place I applied to the city, and I went there because it offered a very good program, as well as it offered a good financial package, like supplemental package for what I was receiving, like the most competitive of any of the other schools I was looking at.
Definitely.
And yeah, it's the rest is rock and roll history, and that's what brings me here because that's
Right.
how you got Brown.
Look at that. Yes, the way we know from Theta Chi fraternity specifically.
Sure.
And it's really sweet to have this come back here even all those years later.
Yeah,
Man,
man.
so go to Hartford, you graduate. And I'm sorry about the Miami situation, but I hope that
I
the
mean,
Hartford
it is
was
what it is. I would have been face down in a ditch somewhere, so it's all good.
one. Hey man, and we you as you said, you finish school. What do you do after you finish school? Get your
So,
degree, got some experience. What's next for you?
so
What do
during
you?
school, yeah. So during school, as an actor, you especially during the summers, you make these connections. I worked every summer at this theater on the UConn campus. On the UConn campus, it's called Connecticut Repertory Theater, and I made
Yep.
connections there, which is wonderful. The Heart School program, in and of itself, actually, senior year, you get a chance to work if you're lucky enough and audition enough, and it works out. You get a chance to work at Hartford Stage, which is a huge regional theater company in the country. So I got to work at Hartford Stage for 2 productions. I got to be in Christmas Carol my senior year, and then also this world premiere of a play based on the Edith Wharton novel Age of Innocence.
Wow.
I got to work with.
It's a Scorsese movie too.
Yes, it is a Scorsese
Yes, it
movie.
is.
Yes, it is. It's a good Scorsese movie. I mean,
Yeah,
I think it's good.
I like it. Daniel Day-Lewis, Winona is in that.
Sure.
Pretty
Yes, sir.
solid.
Great movie. Great story. But I got a chance to be in the world premiere play of that and work with some really, really cool people.
Wow.
And right after during graduation, that's what I was doing. I was doing that play. And then after graduation, the play moved to Princeton, on the Princeton campus, and moved to Princeton, New Jersey at the McCarter Theater. And I got to do it there as well. So it was a nice little plug from Hartford and move straight into the real professional world. It was
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
All
And
right.
since then, I've just been on the acting grind, or since then, pre-COVID,
Yep.
I was on the acting grind, just going into auditions, plugging away. I ended up doing, let's see, I ended up doing Million Dollar Quartet in Long Island, at the
Mm-hmm.
Argyle Theater in Babylon, Long Island. I learned how to play the guitar. I learned how to jerry curl my hair to look like Elvis. It was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful experience. And then yeah, kept on that acting grind, catered every once in a while, bartended
Mm-hmm.
as you do, plugging away, got to make some money.
For sure.
And I filmed this short film called Junkie right before the end of 2019, and I just fell in love with filmmaking. Like I
Oh
love
yes.
acting on it, but like I just was sitting there and watching the process of setting up shots and
Mm-hmm.
actually creating a movie. It was honestly like one of the most incredible experiences, and I fell in love. Like that's what I did. So since then I've been, in the beginning of 2020, pre-COVID, obviously kept auditioning, doing the thing. But since COVID happened, I really all I've been doing is trying to write long form pieces for myself and also, just in general. And I've actually finished this pilot
Yes.
that I am excited that I'm in the process of trying to sell.
All right. Why don't we get into your pilot? You know,
Sure.
definitely understand as the writer if you don't want to give too much of your story, but
Absolutely.
um do you have a nice little elevator pitch of what it is? Like if
Sure.
I'm an
Absolutely.
agent if
Yeah.
I'm an agent and you're trying to have me sign, if I bring you in for a meeting and get signed as a writer, what is the pitch for this, the elevator pitch of your short film?
So basically,
Or I should
it's
say your
actually
pilot script, excuse me, your
yeah, yeah,
pilot
yeah.
script.
You're good. All right. Am I on the clock? Has the elevator doors?
Oh man, you're on the clock, baby. I
Oh
know you
shit.
can
All
do
right.
it.
Okay.
Just take your time though, of course.
Of course, I'll lay it out. So the basic elevator pitch is that New York City has an incredible. It has this aura of being like one of the nightlife capitals of the world, right?
Oh yeah.
All the glitz and glamour, it has all come from New York City, whether it be, Studio 54. Over all time, it has always been New York City is the
Oh
entertainment
yeah.
world.
Coco Cabana before that, and then
Correct.
all that. You can
Correct.
name a million other places right now.
So my story, or the story I'm trying to write, is about the underbelly of New York City nightlife and what actually makes New York City nightlife, what actually fires the engine, which, to put it bluntly, is the sale of youth of these girls that we call club girls. And
Hmm.
honestly, so basically, It's about the promoter lifestyle and
Oh, okay.
promoter housing. If you've never heard of that, I don't blame you. I had never heard of
Yeah, I
that.
know. I never. What is promo housing?
So promoter housing,
Promoter housing.
again, don't feel you shouldn't feel at all ignorant because I've written this thing, but I had never heard of it prior to about a year ago. And the only reason I had heard about it is because I ended up going out on a date, a Tinder match
Right.
with a girl, and we got to talking, and she told me that she spent her formative teenage years, ages 16 to 21, living around the world as a model in promoter housing. And I asked her, what is promoter housing? And she said, basically, my job, I got to live in an apartment with a bunch of other girls for free, but my job was every night I had to go to the club. So basically, and that she said that to me, and my mind immediately opened up. Cause like, can you imagine? These girls are literally selling their youth for profit.
And they're not, these aren't college students, these aren't high school students, they're all dropouts or whatever situation. And
It's a case by case basis for sure.
yeah. Hmm.
I mean, this is just the first person story she told me. Is
Right.
that she got scouted as a model, and she was young. She was the youngest of like six children. Her mom didn't really have time for her, so she decided to move to New York into this place. And 17 years old, going to the club every night, like being around all these shady people. And the thing is, what drives these clubs, they pay certain people called promoters to bring these girls into the club. So the big promoters have these apartment complexes, and these apartment complexes are girls upon girls living on top of each other. So you think about the glitz and the glamour of New York City nightlife and the awe that it inspires, and then you think of like what it's on the backs of. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
Like borderline prostitution. Like it really is. Like they're not, and not even just this, like in the sexual way, just prostitution of their youth
for sure.
and their energy. So I think it's a really topical and unknown portion of life, and I think
Right.
that I don't know. I think it has a place in common culture, and
Absolutely. This is a great way for an ensemble cast to rise. This is awesome for female characters
for
to be
sure,
empowered, and this is a way to discover up and coming female actors as well. If you put them together into this,
absolutely.
what kind of, do you see this as a drama? Do you see this as a comedy, half
I see
hour,
this,
60 minutes,
so I see this as a drama. I see this as a dramedy. I see this as close to
like a younger Sex in the City with the
uh,
updated in the sense that
a little darker than that. Definitely
right,
darker.
yeah,
I would say, I mean, like Ozark is a definite like drama, but
yeah,
there's like light, there's moments of light in there.
of
You
course,
know, I think this is I don't want to say crime drama, but it's almost that. Like
right.
it's about these people that operate outside the law, literally and figuratively, and I don't know the seediness of it. It's just the sex, the hunger, the violence. I think it's all. It should be I think Netflix or Hulu or one of those streaming services could definitely shine a light on all of this stuff.
And you
And
see, do you see this as a mini series? Do you see this as like a few seasons? Sometimes now they have these things like they call limited
limited
series,
series. Yeah,
which
I
is they'll
see it
do
as
2 or 3 seasons now. You think that could be it?
yeah, I think definitely a couple seasons for it. I kind of have a map of where I want to go. I've wrote the pilot fully, but I kind of have a map of where I want to go within the
Yeah, on your
first.
pitch deck and everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, this is the first see, you use the term pitch deck, like I'm gonna have to look that up because
Uh,
I'm kind of doing it by the seat of my pants. I wrote this thing and I've definitely edited it. Like I've sent it to my managers and we've edited it a couple times.
Of course, yeah, yeah. There's no rush to get it done yet. That's just it takes a long time to make it right because you want to make it right because if you hit it, you hit it. And yeah, I know those terms because I was a development intern at CNN for their original content,
Of course you were. Right.
and so yeah, I even know both unscripted and obviously this would be scripted. So if you need any help with that, I could definitely offer my opinion if so
We'll
interested.
we'll be in touch, Matt. I also have stuff like I'm running like I'm doing the stupid little TikToks, obviously. Also, if you follow my
Hey,
TikTok,
they're not stupid. They're awesome.
you know what
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean. Like
Right.
just the 10-second videos I'm doing, but like I'm doing more long form. I've just like I'm
Perfect.
starting to produce more long form comedic sketches as well. I'm filming one this week about Aaron Rodgers,
All
and
right.
so you can look forward to that. That's
Oh, I
good.
am. I
I'll
genuinely
try to
am.
get that before the Super Bowl. I'll try to get it all edited and out before the Super Bowl. And but yeah, I'm looking at more long form and trying to up my game producing level because honestly, why not? That's where I'm at right now. I'm just
Absolutely. The
on the gas out of the pandemic kind of deal.
best part is practice, whether no matter quality or his size. You just getting yourself out there on set, like you said. The filmmaking aspect is just a beautiful thing to learn, and it's
Yes,
so
sir.
cool. And I think now it's even starting to go into more mainstream because of the rise of TikTok. That
Hmm.
younger generation is generally interested in the filmmaking aspect of things.
Absolutely.
Like you can now suggest older movies and foreign flicks because they just all know how to tell a story, and people have a genuine appreciation for it, and the rise of streaming services as well. And it just
Yeah,
makes it's just so cool to me, and it's just so cool for me to watch, man. It's
it is.
cool.
It's so much more accessible to everybody, which
Yeah,
is great. It makes anyone able to really tell a story, pick up a camera, tell a story, even, short form, long form. It makes it accessible, which is great. That keeps the art like life. It
yeah,
keeps it.
you just have to make it, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh man, and don't let time intimidate you. Take it as long as you push and make it better, and you're productive at least closer every day. It will go through. Good writing has always been noticed, no matter what.
That's
So,
true, Ryan. You just got to put it in the bank. Put it in the bank.
absolutely, man. This is. I'm really enjoying this, Andy. I hope you are too.
Oh man, I'm having a blast. Are you kidding?
Sweet, sweet.
Huh?
So before we switch off to you know, the artistic storytelling part of this. Is there anything else you wanted to mention regarding creating artistic opportunities in your world right now and stuff like that?
I
Do you
mean,
expect yourself, right, especially once this pandemic, it's not going to be forever as some people on Twitter make it to be. But yeah, I mean, and the vaccine, we're really trying to make a push to get sure more people get vaccinated, and why
yeah.
not by the fall or summer we can have a more comfortable life. But having said all that, pandemic's going to end. What do you see yourself artistically doing besides this and continuing to create content and push? Do you have any other opportunities you're trying to develop?
I again, I'm gonna just call back to my 2021 full foot down on the gas pedal energy, straight out of the pan. I'm trying to pull out of this pandemic going 110. Like I'm trying to fly out of this pandemic. And before, because we all took time to get to know ourselves during the pandemic. Before the pandemic, I would get bogged down by having so many different outlets that I wanted to create. Like I wanted to make music, I wanted to make these videos, I wanted to write a screenplay, I wanted to do all these things in different fields, and I would get overwhelmed about not having enough time, so I would end up starting 15 minutes of one and then like judging it too harshly and throwing it away.
Right.
But now I'm just kind of taking what comes to me and taking the inspiration when it comes to me and trying to turn it around. And I like the way it feels, I gotta say. Not trying to
That's all.
predetermine what I'm doing.
That's all, man. That's all you have to do. As long as you love it, other people will. And if it's good, then that's even better. So
Then we're really chilling.
that's what I like to hear. That's why I'm a big fan of you, Andy. Just knowing to keep grinding no matter what.
No
So
matter what.
talking about our filmmaking, we talked about our um artistic opportunities. Just one quick thing before we go to the sports I'm really interested to talk to you about. So one of the things you mentioned to me that you were interested, or as we were figuring out what we were going to talk about, you specifically referred to real estate, Robinhood, real estate and Robinhood. Obviously, two different things, but all generating cash. Obviously, real estate helping
Of course.
people in their homes, whether commercially or I mean, commercially for business or for homes. And Robinhood is a new stock that has been rising up lately. Why
Yes,
don't we
sir.
first get into Robinhood that's relatively new? What
Sure, sure.
what is it for those, it has been getting a lot of clout lately. I think it's hard to go through social media right now to see and not see a Robinhood ad. But why don't you talk to me about Robinhood and what are you specifically doing with it?
Sure. So Robinhood is an investment app where anyone with a smartphone and this app, Robinhood, has direct access to the stock market, into buying and selling on the stock market. See, we talked about the accessibility of filmmaking.
Yep.
Honestly, the accessibility of everything is based on your phone. Like you have everything you could ever want on your phone almost. And the fact that Robinhood gives you the choice to trade stocks allows someone like me, who, I consider myself aware, but who the hell knows about money? Only the money people know about money.
Right.
Robinhood allows you to, it connects it to the common man. And I've obviously I've done some research on YouTube in order
Hmm.
to in order to find out what I should buy and what I should stay away from. But if you're diligent about your work and you follow the right people, even if it costs a little money to follow them, then you can really have your money make money for you. And I really think investments is 2021 for me is all about investments in my own creative, my own physical, my own financial life. Just all about investments. And Robinhood has, I'm I'm making money at the sandwich shop now, and I'm putting a lot of it straight back into Robinhood because I get to eat lunch at the sandwich shop, which is incredible. Yeah, I get to eat for free, so I don't have to worry about that. And I just put that straight into the investment, and I invest it, and so far it's doing pretty good. And the real estate, I'm looking at the same way, is an investment. So I have grown up on the Upper West Side, and I've been in this apartment that I'm sitting in right now my entire life,
Hmm.
in, aside from when I was in college.
Yep.
So my parents have rented this apartment for since 1992. It's a long time. It's
Yeah. Push it 30 years. Not don't want to make him feel old,
30
but
years of renting. And I was looking to move out because I'm making consistent money now, and it's 2021, and I'm trying to hit that come up, and I would love to live in my own fucking room.
right.
Yeah, I've been sleeping in a bunk bed this whole pandemic. Go figure. Yeah, my whole life in a bunk bed. It's okay. I'm 6'3". All right. I get cramps all the time in that fucking bunk bed. I need my own room. Anyway, so I was looking to
Wow.
rent. Yeah, no, I got really serious there for a second.
Oh, you're a grinder, man. That is gonna be when you're making it big. You talk about sleeping in a bunk bed, and this is part of your story, bro.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Sleeping in a bunk bed. Actually, not really sleeping in a bunk bed. Laying up at night writing in a bunk bed.
Hey,
That's more the story.
now
Um,
that's being productive.
yeah, man, trying productive conversation.
You were
But
saying?
I was saying that my dad said if I could do it all again, I wouldn't rent at all. I would just buy something in New York. And
Mm,
real estate has never been lower right now, and you can get something really good, and in 5 to 10 years you could turn around for twice the amount of money. And I'm like, that's not a bad idea at all. And we were talking about it, and my parents, they think that too. They don't want to play rent anymore. So we were talking about perhaps buying as a family, my parents, my brother and I, investing in a brownstone in New York City, and making that as an investment and flipping opportunity in real estate, because that real estate is the one thing that no more of it's being made, especially in
right.
New York City. You can make everything else. You can't make more land. You can't make more.
Nope. As
So
much as they want us to think they can.
that's what I'm saying. They could just keep building up, but like so yeah, we're looking into buying a house. It'll be a nice little Danny Tanner Full House moment.
Beautiful. Do you have a goal where you want to find this brownstone? Do you want to?
Well, obviously there's a budget that we're looking at. My parents
Right.
are both, they're two actors. I'm an actor. We're not financial bankers yet.
Yet.
Robin Hood.
Robin.
Um, Robin Hood.
Hmm.
But we're honestly there were some beautiful neighborhoods in Brooklyn and
Hmm.
like some really cool neighborhoods in the Bronx actually,
Yeah.
and that we were looking at, and there's just a lot more space out there. Like you could find something that's 4 or 5 stories that you can make into your own, whereas in Manhattan, it's a lot harder to find that space.
Right.
So yeah, we're in the process of looking. So until then, I will be in the bunk bed. And although if it goes on too long, I'm gonna have to rent a one bedroom. I'm getting a little old to
I know how you
it,
feel, man.
yeah, it is what it is. I love them so much. They're like two of my best friends, and my brother's home from Syracuse right now too, so it's a full house. And they're great people, but oh man, do I need my personal space. I went from my own room in college back to like a shared bunk bed.
Yeah, that's quite a transition, but I know, and I'm proud to hear you making the most of it too. And like nothing lasts forever. That includes the not saying this is an obstacle, but just new opportunities. And
Of
I'm
course,
trying to make the most of. I was ready to move out. Was working PA for a few years. I was interviewing for jobs to give me enough salary to move out, and obviously the pandemic hits. But just trying to make lemons of lemonade of what's left of this room and make it as this little studio I was able to develop new. So I can't wait to celebrate, man. If you need a roommate, be around as long as you don't mind recording, podcast recordings.
hey man, I'm always for artistic creation. I guess we'll get to talking, brother.
Looking forward to that. And just the last thing with Robin Hood,
Yeah.
um, were there any specific, startups? Are there
Yeah.
any specific established companies that you've been investing in or products? Is that one of the elements to work that or?
Yeah, sure. So there were a couple. So when I started about exactly almost 3 months ago, exactly October 23rd, 2020, and
Hey, that's when
yeah.
the podcast is launched. October 20th was the first day.
Oh wow,
How
that's
about that?
that's a progress. Listen, those are productive dates.
Tell me
Right?
about it, man.
Um, but yeah, I started investing then, and I invested some money into Tesla,
All right.
and that doubled in price. I had 2 shares of Tesla, and now it's doubled. So I've made all my money back, and now made back my investment plus more. I but really what I've been looking for is from stock tips from my mother's friend. She like spends all day like researching very diligently.
I'm the best at this. She's a female Gordon Gecko.
Yes, exactly. And she's found a couple companies that were about to merge, and I hopped on. There was this
Oh,
one company called Flying Eagle that I bought, and then it got bought by a bigger company called Skills, and that was a nice little come up in money. Uh,
hey, look at that.
but if yeah, and then there's another company that I got in at, they were selling their shares at a fraction of the rate because they needed to raise fund. It's called Nano Dimension. And
Okay.
it is still going to go up. If anybody's looking for Nano Dimension, it's at it. So if you look at it, 5 years ago, it was $80 a share. And then since then, it absolutely completely bombed and went all the way down to like $6 a share.
That's bad.
Then, yeah. And then they started, yeah, that's awful. That's awful.
Just makes
But now they're starting to, because they had to sell to raise money, they had to like cut their shares in half and split their shares. But I bought them at 8.15, and now they're at like 18 or 20. So they're
start
making,
from the bottom.
yeah, man. We're trying to do what we're doing. But if people are looking for, I would say there's this company called Longview that's about to merge with this other company called Butterfly.
I've heard of
Sometime,
butterfly.
yeah, Butterfly is making a at-home self MRI machine that is going to make MRIs more accessible to everyone.
Wow,
So, yeah,
that's a game changer.
Right. So like they'll be able to have self-induced MRI machines, especially in like schools or like places of work, pretty much everywhere. In like 5-10 years. So if you're looking for a little long view on Robinhood, would be my tip. Also, the pot companies, Tillery, Aurora
Yeah.
Cannabis, and I forget. Wow, Tillery, Aurora Cannabis, and I'm forgetting the other one. But there's three major pot companies, and with this very blue president, vice president, Senate, and
Yep.
House,
Yep.
bang, we might get maybe we might get some shit done. There's a lot to get done, Matt, but we might get some shit done.
I'm support that. I've made it clear,
Yes,
and
sir.
I've said that a lot
Have
of times, both socially why weed should be legalized, and economically, and the
Oh,
various we could talk all day. Hmm?
I don't even mean just the weed. I mean like there's so much to get done. We don't have to talk about
Oh
that.
yeah, 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 absolutely. I know. I see where you come from, but yeah,
Yeah,
like I know I'm. But just my one question with weed,
sure.
I know that obviously New Jersey legalized it. There could be
Hmm.
dispensaries as soon as this spring. You just go across the river, go across the
Crazy.
Hudson, and then
The new world.
change. And I know Governor Andrew Cuomo has been talking about his interests in at least the state of New York coming
Hmm.
with that. I don't know. My state of Connecticut, Governor Lamont's weirdo, but that's just talk for another day. But one
That's
of the things that the pandemics caused, obviously, a lot of lost funds and a lot of
sure.
liquid assets have been taken away. But if you can now legalize weed, tax it, and get all those, and you get all those, you know, get all that profit back and all that capital, it only makes the world better. You can
What?
help, obviously, the medical issues that could be saved from just using cannabis instead. Maybe it helps.
Absolutely.
Maybe it helps decrease our opioid crisis, which we can't forget about. Addiction's
For
bad, it's
sure.
real, and
If
more
you
people. You say?
if you could regulate, it's so you're so correct. If you regulate it as a government, first of all, you could get people the help they need. Like people, weed is. Oh, I get really animated about this because I believe it so fervently. That weed
Yeah,
is so much healthier and such a better alternative than alcohol, and yet alcohol is available to anyone and like socially acceptable for 17-year-olds to drink. I mean, I know it's not legal, but it's socially accepted.
was an
We
essential business
Yeah, man, that's
in
what
the
I'm
pandemic.
saying. It was essential business. And like weed is, I don't know, you can use it as so many things. It's so beneficial to almost everything in your system except your, memory and I guess cognitive function, but not really. It's pretty great for everything.
For sure. I mean, of course, just like any other thing in this world that we can't, you could use something too much for everyone, but you have to
Yeah.
be careful. You definitely, you know, we're not endorsing getting high all the time because there you could, as just in any issues. But if you use
So
what?
stay sober, kids.
Absolutely. But if you, I might could contradict your point, but I'm just saying the truth. But if you use it cognitively, if you use it smart, if you are intelligent with your approach with it, and you don't abuse it like anything else you could abuse in this world, there's no reason why. There's no reason why it should not be legalized. I think it's 15 states at this moment out of the 50 that have
Yeah.
legalized. We added 5 of them over this past election. And now people need that money and revenue. Hopefully that is a huge motivator and then
So
just make so much better.
invest in weed on Robinhood.
Oh yeah. It's
That's
rising
it.
up.
Yep, and weed's rising up.
Tell me about it. All right. So, Andy, just my last question before we get into our sports. You work at a New York City deli. Is that fair to say?
Uh, well, it's a delicatessen. It's of sorts. It's a fine food. We have sandwiches, soups, wonderful pastries and muffins every morning, fresh every day.
Ah,
Oh yeah, no, it's serious. And listen, alert, best coffee in New York City. I said it. I said it.
What is the place? What is this place you're saying?
Giacomo.
Giacomo.
Giacomo Fine Foods. It is on 72nd between Broadway and West End, although it is the second door in off of West End.
All
So
right.
it's a wonderful area, and it is in the wing of a residential building on the north side of 72nd Street.
All
My
right.
boss, Joe, has been there since 1994 in that same spot. They celebrated their 25th anniversary a couple years ago, and I am the first hire since 1994.
Now that's saying something. How about that?
Well, it's they started with there's three workers there. It's Joe, my boss, Omar, and Sylvia, and I, and it's pretty incredible. I'm not gonna lie. I pretty much just get to drink iced tea and coffee all day, and I talk a lot, which I love to do, as you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
I talk to people all day and get them sandwiches and whatever they would need. And I really got a firsthand look at how a small business owner makes it in a pandemic world. It's actually very, very inspiring and incredible.
What do you
And
think?
go go.
Sorry, I said, what do you think your boss? What has your boss done to survive in a pandemic world, especially in New York City, when a lot of we've seen business and we've seen some of the big hitters are sadly no more. But
Yeah, man.
what has been the strategy that your boss in particular has been doing to stay afloat, which is awesome to hear. Which it
Right.
really
Yeah, no, support local business first and foremost. That's obviously we know how what we're talking about. But no, Joe, my boss, I started working there a couple weeks before Thanksgiving, so I wasn't there for the thick of the pandemic. The beginning of the pandemic, he made the decision, the business decision, to stay open.
yeah.
So he was one of the only places in the whole neighborhood that was open during the ghost town days of New York City during
Right.
the pandemic. So he actually benefited, and the store gained a lot of regular customers because it was the literal only thing open.
Wow.
And then when we came back to some semblance, we're not back, but now we're back to some semblance of normalcy
For
a
sure.
little bit. Those regulars carried over, and luckily continued to come. And he hit me up and he said, "I know you're probably not working because you're an actor, out of work actor stereotype." Yep, right on. It is definite. There's a reason it's a stereotype. It's real.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he said, "I know you're probably not working. I could really use some help at the store." I went. I went and talked to him for 10 minutes. This is my old baseball coach, by the way, my travel baseball coach. That he's a big fan. He came out to see me in Million Dollar Quartet. He's a great dude. He's a great dude. Spent a lot of time growing up, as my baseball coach. But I went in, talked to him for 20 minutes on a Friday, and then on Monday I was working at the sandwich shop, learning the ins and outs of Giacomo, and it is called Giacomo. It's an Italian store. He's Spanish. He's Dominican.
All right.
Yeah, Jose Aguilera, shout out. But he wanted it to sound Italian, so he named it Giacomo, and he named it after a portrait. There's this portrait of a dog in a tuxedo that that is literally sitting in Giacomo, and that's who Giacomo is. It's the dog in the tuxedo. So that's who it's named after.
What's your favorite thing to get at Giacomo?
Yo, honestly, like the beef chili is to die for. Don't tell Joe. Joe won't see this, but I took a pint of beef chili home yesterday, and I'm so excited to eat it. Like it is so good. But like really, I'm really not biased, and I wouldn't hype it up. But the sandwiches are so good. The soups are actually the white bean and spinach soup is primo. The muffins and the pastries are just to die for. The cooking's good. If anyone's in the area, you should definitely stop by because, first of all, you get to hear me talk at you for 75 minutes or however long you're in the store. And second of all, you're going to get a bomb ass meal or meals because we have prepared food. We have lasagna, pastas, literally whatever you want. Come on, bro. You know what it is. It's New York City. We do not have bacon, though. That's the one thing we don't have.
No bacon. Well, we
No
can.
bacon. We have prosciutto though. We don't.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. We
You
got
know what,
prosciutto.
man? I promise you, I'll be coming at some point within this calendar year. I will be there because I just live to die for. My MB reviews all
Of course.
started as a commuting in Manhattan, and then obviously I'll be back ASAP.
No
But
doubt.
that was just MB reviews were just to highlight all the local businesses in New York City where I worked, and then it's just evolved. Done some in LA, done some in the South, obviously some in Connecticut. And
Right.
I would love to just have that as be another one. I
Oh
know
yeah.
exactly where that is. The location is. I used to work by Columbus Circle, so I know my way to get up there. So
Yeah.
I'm there. I'm gonna be there, and I'm going to plug as much as I can. Giacomo, go to Giacomo. It's at 72nd in the West End. So
Yeah, and if you tip $1 or more, I will sing you a song, whatever song you want.
see, excellent. I will have you sing "Lean Back" by the Terror Squad.
All right, I guess I'll have to learn it. No, I'm kidding.
Andy, we
Yes,
love our
sir.
sports. Where do I start with you with that? Why don't we talk about the National Football League's playoffs?
Okay,
So,
we can start with football. I mean, me and my brother we watched that game. Obviously, we could start with the NFC because that's the most
yes.
important to start with. We watched that game and like me and my brother are sitting there, and my brother asked me, "Is this offense fireable? Matt LaFleur not kicking, like Matt LaFleur opting for the field goal, like is that fireable? Like I know he's made the NFC title the last 2 years, but like how do you not trust the best player on the field to get you to the promised land? Like what are you doing?"
So his explanation was, as we see, NFC Championship last night, time is recording, Bucks versus there was the Bucks and the Packers, and the Bucks won 31-26. And yes, so the big play, literally just 2 minutes left in the game, down by 8, on the goal line. They had the goal line, first and goal. I can't remember the first play exact. Second play, throws to Devontae Adams, drops in the end zone. And then third and goal, I can't. It was third and goal. Again, we see Rodgers out of the pocket, and he looks like he has enough room to run the end zone.
Yards
But
ahead of him, free, just
yes,
free
but
5 yards.
then he just threw Devontae Adams and dropped it, which is a play that happens in Madden all the time, where you think you're gonna run it
That's
and then
true.
you try to make the throw,
That's
but
true.
couldn't work. So yeah, Matt LaFleur's explanation is that, well, this was right before the the 2-minute warning. And if anyone knows in football, 2-minute warning means the clock stops. We have 3 timeouts. So he
Right.
thought that he trusted in his defense enough that they would make the stop, even though Tom Brady all day was taking advantage of it. And then again, why Aaron Rodgers said that he did not run in the end zone is he said, I thought we were going to have a 4th down.
Of
That's what
course.
he said.
Of course.
And that turned out to be a fatal mistake. And they almost stopped it. They had the 2-minute warning. Then then they first got the first down,
Mm-hmm.
did the penalty, so they can now, instead of getting that, it was 4 time stoppages, is now 3. Get to the third, got to 3rd and 2. Then Tom Brady, and though he missed the pass, it was an obvious pass interference. Kevin King
It was an obvious pass interference.
Kevin King, the quarter.
He was the best player on the Bucks last night.
Tom Brady?
No, Kevin King.
Oh, Kevin. Yes.
Have you seen? Wait,
The cringy.
I did
Yeah.
a TikTok about it because it was fucking. I don't know if anybody has ever seen Little Giants. It is such a funny movie. It's like Rick Moranis and
Yeah, of course. The great Rick
Yeah.
Moranis.
Yeah, and the great Rick Moranis, of course. And there's this kid who goes. So there's this receiver who misses like 3 catches, and he has Stickum like stuck to his chest, and he misses a catch. And then like the evil villain kid, he goes, "Hey, hot hands, you're the best player on our team." His name's Spike, and it's just Kevin King was the hot hands of the Bucks Packers game. I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. Like he
man.
big play to Scotty Miller.
Mhm.
Then he got pass. He gave up the first touchdown to Mike Evans too.
Yes,
And
he
he had
did.
the pass interference, bro. He got torched.
It's it's gonna be a hard time for him to redeem himself.
Bro, the
Unlike,
eye in the sky does not lie. They're gonna go into practice next year, bro, and Matt LaFleur is gonna light his ass on fire.
oh man, do you think Aaron Rodgers is coming back next year?
I heard that he may retire, but I don't believe it, man. I mean,
Really?
quarterbacks these days.
Retire?
Yeah, bro. Did you not hear that? Oh, that was what I thought you meant.
No, I did it. Well, I mean, of course, I've heard various rumors. I never heard retire. It could be true, but listen, he looked really, he looked mad, man. When he hugged Tom Brady, he was about to cry.
Yeah, bro.
I think he was just so fed up. That's his fifth straight. I mean, not consecutively, but fifth straight NFC championship game that he lost. First one
Yeah,
at home,
yeah,
and he played a great game.
bro.
He was amazing.
And here's the thing. And here's the thing. At the end of the day, the Packers will not support Aaron Rodgers. They draft a fucking listen, I get the idea of drafting a quarterback in the future. They did it with Rodgers. It worked for Favre, right? But they were an NFC Championship team. They drafted Jordan Love in the first round,
Yep.
and they drafted A.J. Dillon in the second round. Now, both are A.J. Dillon's a solid player, very nice runner, great runner. But like, why don't you try to help out your
Yeah, they
franchise
needed to get a
quarterback?
wide receiver,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
especially with the class they had.
that's what I'm saying. You could have picked literally in the second round. You could have had a stud wide receiver.
Could have got
That
Claiborne from now who did well in Pittsburgh for one.
Claypool, yeah, Claypool, bro.
Claypool, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no, and if they used their first round on a receiver, I don't know what their first round pick was probably like. They did pretty well, so it was probably like 25, 26.
Yeah,
I was
they
like
needed.
Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson may have went a little earlier to
He had
like.
a hell of a season for the Vikings.
He was nice. Justin Jefferson's a real one.
Oh
He
yeah.
really is good. I mean, C.D. Lamb is nice. He was great until Dak Prescott got hurt,
Mm-hmm.
and that wide receiver class is unfucking real. Jerry Jeudy. If Drew Lock was any kind of a quarterback, Jerry Jeudy would have a
Right.
year, bro.
It's just like I personally don't think Rodgers is going to retire. I think he'd be dumb. He's 37.
I
He's
agree.
playing at an MVP level. If he
Definitely.
wants to move on, he's under contract for I think it's 2 more seasons. His 2024, he's still under contract.
Okay.
But if it's just so like if you're the Packers, you lost because of bad coaching last night and bad play calling.
Yep.
So I don't know if you want to give everything up and start rebuilding when you're so close, but at the same time, what you couldn't ask for a better situation in the NFC. You were the very best team in the NFC, and you lost to
All
a team
year.
that isn't better than you. But you know what? They won. They looked amazing yesterday. But
Yeah, I know. No, seriously, I think the Packers did everything right this year except they didn't win. Like
yeah,
they they choked. Kevin King had an awful game. Matt LaFleur had an awful game, and like that's what and Tom Brady did what he did. He game managed the game, and he got his team the playoff win.
yeah,
Like
that's
ultimately
all that matters is winning. That's how
and
you get that.
ultimately that's what matters, and that's why Brady is the GOAT because he gets it done. Like that's just the
Easily.
bottom line. He gets it done.
What do you think of the Super Bowl? I mean, wait, sorry. What do you think of the AFC? We'll call it Super Bowl, but the AFC Championship. It was just I thought it'd be a more competitive game, and then the Chiefs just ran away with it. It just shows why they're one of the best offensive teams we'll ever see in the history of football.
Yeah, no, every game with them is a track meet. It's unbelievable. Hey Matt, I gotta grab my charger. I'm on 4%.
Yeah, you just wait right there. We'll keep this rolling real quick.
Yeah, give me a second. All right, let's see. All right, brother.
All right, so yes, AFC Championship, as you said, that was just a track meet when you have people like Tyreek Hill as a wide receiver. I mean, he's good enough to be in the Olympics with his speed. I don't know how a body has so many jukes in him. Obviously, Clyde, he had an okay game, but he's still a solid player in the backfield. Their
Listen, that
line,
offense has so many weapons. Like how
Travis Kelsey.
well, Kelsey's unreal, man. He just he's incredible at. I mean, you can't guard him one-on-one. So then if you try to play zone, him and Mahomes are just on. They're one mind. He just dips in between every zone run the defense runs, and he's wide open, man. It's just wild. He was leading the league in receiving yards, and then sat out the last game. That's the only reason he wasn't first in the league this year in receiving yards. It's crazy.
Yeah, and as a wide receiver too, and
That's
he's
what I'm
just so
saying.
powerful. He could actually block too if you need that. I mean, the line for the offensive line for the Chiefs is why Patrick Mahomes also just has so much time to make any moves, can scramble so accurate,
It's
can
true.
literally throw the ball with his eyes closed.
It's true. A small storyline that was missed in the NFC game, Bakhtiari being out,
Yeah.
huge. That Tampa Bay defensive line really ate up. I forget his name who replaced Bakhtiari, but they really ate him up.
Oh yeah. I mean, when
Bakhtiari's a
JPP and
stud.
Sue
Yeah,
and they just embarrassed him. Shaq
yeah,
Barrett. I mean, they got 5 sacks on Aaron Rodgers alone. 5.
yeah, yeah. And I think if you look back, it's 2 or 3 of them are through that left tackle spot, which is usually David Bakhtiari,
Yep.
who is literally a brick wall.
Uh-huh.
So
He knows
that's
how to
tough.
drink some beer too. If you've seen those clips,
Oh,
the
that
Buzzers.
video, that video game when then it pans to Aaron Rodgers and he like chokes on the beer and he's like, "Oh, I actually drink whiskey primarily, and that's why I wasn't used to drinking." So fun, yo.
Yo,
Aaron Rodgers, like on a different note, I know we were getting onto the AFC game, but
yeah.
the fact that he doesn't speak to his family is psychopathic energy.
That is it is a sad story. If you heard about that from his brother, I think his brother's also named Jordan.
Oh, I didn't know that.
People named Jordans. Well, you know the story. His brother Jordan's the Bachelor. He won. He won the Bachelor.
I had no idea.
Oh,
Wait.
yeah, no, I'm serious. His brother won the Bachelor.
Oh wow.
Jordan, and that's where he admitted. He told the family that we don't speak to Aaron, but this was a long time ago. I hope it changed now, but I think it was over a girlfriend or something. I think it was Olivia Munn who they said that was the thing.
Interesting. So
Yeah,
maybe they talk now. Hopefully they talk now, just for
yeah.
the sake of his humanity.
It's been a long time since that. I think it was over the relationship, but I hope
Okay.
it's different. I really do. But I love Aaron Rodgers, man. I really do. I
Nice.
think
I mean, he's one of the best natural quarterbacks of all time. I mean, you fucking put Dan Marino, you put, I mean, talent-wise, like,
skilled at the position itself.
at the position itself, not just, yeah, Marino, Rodgers, I, I, and like, it's a tough list after that. Like, I guess you could throw like Brady and Manning in there,
Yep.
but like, yeah, I don't know, like Favre was a nut, like a freak like that.
I mean, yeah, and they have the future. Who knows what? I mean, Mahomes is playing on that level, and
Oh my God, well, Mahomes he's different than all of them.
seriously, but yeah, I like Rodgers. You know, I don't know if you watched the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah, I've seen a couple episodes.
Yeah, it's great. Every Tuesday he has Aaron Rodgers. Every Tuesday, obviously, tomorrow's episode is good. We're gonna see if he comes on, but he's just such a cool, chill, very smart guy. You know, he won Celebrity Jeopardy.
I love that for him.
And but one thing Aaron Rodgers said, like, I don't throw in the off season. I think he just has so many interests, but he has his Super Bowl ring. He is going to the Hall of Fame.
Of course.
I do think that second Super Bowl is worth trying to prove. He's playing at this level at 37. I mean,
He can play this way for another 3 years. Like he's not doing anything. Like it's not like he's running for first downs. Like he's somewhat mobile, but it's not like he's way more mobile than Big Ben, though. Oh my God.
Oh man, Big Ben. But yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers should stay.
Yeah,
stay. He should keep playing. If he doesn't want to move from New England, obviously I'm in New England. If he wants to move on from Green Bay, there will definitely be plenty teams out there. The quarterback situation across the whole league, half the teams don't know if their quarterback's coming back, which is insane.
Yeah, bro, that's why the Jets should trade the second pick for either Deshaun Watson. Obviously it would take more than that. But
Probably take 3 first-round picks for
actually
him.
would love to see Deshaun Watson on Miami or Chicago. I think both of those teams would be fire with Deshaun Watson.
I think the Finns should go get him. The Finns are ready to win now. I don't
They
think
are.
that. I mean, they keep. You thought Tua was something, but I mean, once Brian Flores keeps taking him out in the middle of games,
It makes no
I
sense. It makes no sense what
guess
they're
he
doing.
just doesn't trust him enough. So
I
why
guess not.
get a quarterback you do trust? You can't
Yeah.
win this league without a quarterback. It's literally impossible.
Bro, I think Stafford should go to the Colts.
Yeah, that or the 49ers I would like.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I like the 49ers for him too. Stafford, man. He throws for 5,000 yards every year.
Yeah.
Dude's a stud, but like his teams have been so bad that like
People like to make fun of the Jets, but the Lions are a truly cursed franchise. They never even played in a conference championship. At least the Jets have a Super Bowl.
that's true. The Jets didn't. Broadway Joe, baby.
Broadway Joe. And, Andy, you're a Giants fan. And, right?
Well, okay. So here's the thing. I root for the New York teams because I didn't grow up playing football, so I didn't really like follow football as closely until I got older.
Yeah.
And then I started playing fantasy football, and I really started to love football.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna root for all the New York teams, and I know that's a
Cool.
cop, but I wanted the Bills to win, man. I feel so bad for the Bills.
I really thought it'd be a competitive game. The defense was really good in the next few games, but they just could not keep up with Mahomes in that offense. It's a perfect offense. If you have your line, you have your perfect quarterback. The line is incredible. I mean, I know they lost Eric Fisher now. That's a difference maker, but we'll see what happens.
They'll
But
still be. They put up 40 points in a blink of an eye, no problem.
oh yeah,
They
just
do.
my last football question before we switch is what do you think of the Super Bowl? Who do you think gonna win in a legend in versus the possible legend in the making? Bucks Chiefs. It's
Yeah, it's an
right
incredible
around.
matchup. It's honestly like if you have no stake in the teams whatsoever, like if you're not like a fan of any of the teams that got eliminated, it's like the Super Bowl you want to see,
Oh
right?
yeah, people are gonna talk about the Super Bowl for the matchup alone forever.
Yeah, Romo literally said that this is Jordan LeBron in a Super Bowl right now, and like pretty that is the equivalent, honestly. Um, I betting against Tom Brady has always been a mistake in the past.
Right.
Like it really has always been a mistake in the past, and yet I want to take Patrick Mahomes. Like I want to take the Chiefs. I think they're a better football team, but betting against Tom Brady has always been a mistake. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna say Tom Brady wins his seventh because like I just cannot see like I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough. Mahomes and that Chiefs offense is incredible.
That's the difference maker. It's just that offense just always scores. I mean, could this defense? They stopped one of the best offenses. I mean, well, I shouldn't say that because they did put points against them, but like you said, the only time Brady's lost, two Giants, one of the best days of my life, and that really fluky Eagles loss.
Yeah.
It's just
I mean,
Chiefs are just so good, bro.
They're just so good. It really is an issue.
I'm just
Patrick Mahomes could win 6 titles in the next 8 years. Like actually, it's like not like if he doesn't get hurt, like he really could take his whatever team he's on, as long as there's some semblance of a line.
Yeah.
And like a top 15 or 20 defense, he could take that team to the Super Bowl. Like
absolutely, bro. Absolutely, man.
wow.
But I have to really think. But at this time, 2 weeks before the big game, I think the Chiefs can win this because their just offenses just can't be stopped.
No, I mean,
And the defense is kind of weaker. They have some playmakers on, but
I mean
I just
that's
think they could outscore them.
yeah, I agree. I mean, they're definitely going to be the favorites. Like they will for
Yeah,
sure.
at this moment, they're on the money line, the 3.5 point favorites. So
3.5 point favorites. Yeah, that makes sense.
we'll see. We will see. Andy, let's talk about our Yankees.
So I'm always ready to talk about these.
Man, so sorry, you were saying?
I was just gonna review the tie-on news today, or that we got yesterday.
Yes, tell me about the offseason with the Yankees. Tell me about what you've been thinking about these moves lately.
So I mean, it was an absolute essential to re-sign DJ LeMahieu. Like
Mm-hmm.
that was step one of the offseason. And you know what? I will be the first to admit I'm a diehard Yankee fan, as you know, Matt. Matt, I know you're a diehard Yankee fan.
Mm-hmm.
I was very upset with Brian Cashman at the beginning of the summer because I didn't think he was doing enough to get DJ LeMahieu back and secured. But I will eat my words and eat my hat because Brian Cashman did a hell of a job in getting DJ LeMahieu what we could both agree on. DJ LeMahieu wanted 5 years for $125 million. DJ LeMahieu got 6 years for $91 million. Brian Cashman looks like a goddamn genius.
Yeah.
The guy can't miss. The guy trades for fucking Luke Voigt, who becomes the home run leader. The guy
Mm-hmm.
trades cash considerations for Gio Urshela, who's a 280
Mm-hmm.
platinum glove potential. I mean, Brian Cashman is really next to none. Like, there's no other GM.
Greatest GM in all sports of all time.
I really agree. Like, who's the Warriors GM that set up that dynasty? He was very good.
Yeah.
Was it wait, I have this. It's
I know. Once you say the name, it's the.
yeah, it wasn't. It's an ex-player, I think. It's not Jerry West. I forget. But that
Bob Myers.
Bob Myers created that Warriors team, and arguably that's the greatest team we'll ever see on a basketball court.
Oh yeah, but one of the things you have to give credit to Cashman, he's been at it for 20 years. I mean, 98. So 23 years. No GMs last that long. Seriously.
And in New York, are you kidding me?
Right.
I mean, New York City and the New York Yankees is the biggest sports media enterprise in the world. Like, it really is. Maybe Real Madrid you can make an argument for, but like the Yankees,
at least in this country, everyone knows about the Yankees.
Everyone knows about the Yankees. But like even all over the world, like the Yankee hat is synonymous with like success, like corporate.
Absolutely, man. I have it here all the time.
At all times, bro. This is what we do. So that's step one. Step one was re-signing DJ, and like Brian Cashman, A+, like A++, really. Got more years, less money. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, man. Yo, I low-key was like, you know what? DJ deserves more money, but I'll take it. I'll take it for that. Low-key.
I honestly just think have you ever seen an interview with DJ LeMahieu? He's the most like...
He's so mundane, man. It's hard to get some emotion out of him. Apparently, he's awesome, like, without the cameras, but, he's just so chill.
He just chews on tobacco. He's a good LSU boy, and he plays baseball, bro. He's literally
such a stud, man. That was great. He's already turned to top 5 favorite Yankee of all time for me.
I mean, he just does all the little things so well. Like he just he runs counts deep. He fouls off 2-strike pitches.
He's clutch when we need him.
He's clutch as hell. His runners in scoring position average is actually absurd. Like, it's ridiculous. And, like, he just shuts up. I don't mean shut up and play, but he
does his business.
Emotion out of him. Like, he's just, like, cool as the other side of the pillow and, like, just making amazing plays day in and day out. He's really
That's our guy, man.
That is our guy. That's our MVP candidate, honestly.
Dude.
Our MVP.
Deserved it. And, like, man, I miss Yankee Stadium so much, so much. And but when I went a lot in 2019. I mean, I've gone every single year since 2003, and the streak ended this year, which is heartbreaking. As I'm sure you're the same for you, obviously.
Yeah.
And right, so at both stadiums too. So that's a special connection we have with certain Yankee fans.
Of course, bro. It's multiple stadiums.
And but DJ, when in 2019, I went to 5 games. I actually have a big log of every single game I've been to. I've seen the Yankees play every single American League team at least once, except the Kansas City Royals and the Texas Rangers, who I'm putting mark down and making sure I go so I can complete the entire American League.
Definitely should. Hopefully those teams are good at any time ever.
Right? We have to definitely, one of the things, Yankee bucket list, we have to go to a game. I mean, multiple games, honestly, but
Definitely, bro. I
Uh,
mean, yeah, man. Bleacher creatures, easy. Every time.
best environment, best environment. So, anyways, so that game last year, 5 games, I seen DJ hit a home run in all of them, and I've so far been in the last Yankee game with people, and I was at Game 5 of the ALCS 2019,
That's
and
crazy.
such a great game. You ever been to a playoff game before?
Yeah, I did. I went to 2019. I went to the second game of I guess it was the DS. I went to game 2. They actually lost to Cleveland, but then they won the next 3 games in Cleveland.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I went to that second game, or they won the next 2 and then they came home and won the fifth.
I'm telling you, man, nothing beats October in the Bronx playoff
Yes,
baseball. The
it's just an
vibes.
energy, man. It's electric. It's electric.
Right. So
But
basically, with that game, I saw DJ hit a home run in every single game I went to.
I mean, yeah, because he's a stud. That's what he does, bro. He's
And
nice.
then, the big home run, saw him hit a walk-off against Oakland.
Ooh.
And fun fact, the very first team I ever saw Yankee play at the old stadium was Yankees A's in '03. And it was the Moneyball team.
Oh yeah, of course,
Even
of course.
before I watched Moneyball, I was like, I think I see this before. I didn't know at the time, like, oh, this is our famous team, but it was cool. And you know I saw Roger Clemens pitch my first game ever.
Oh, that's crazy.
And you know
Of
who hit a home run? Was Scott Hatterberg. And if you remember Moneyball, he hit the
course,
big
bro.
walk-off.
Scotty Hatterberg playing first base.
Yes, played by Chris Pratt in the movie.
Yeah, definitely, bro. The early
But
Chris Pratt. That's like pre-famous Chris Pratt.
oh yeah, he just was on the Parks and Rec. Like if you were a
Yeah,
hardcore Parks and Rec, but this was
yeah,
before he went into Marvel and
yeah. Right
you know.
before he went. Right before he fucking blew up.
Oh
And
man,
then
they're
we
like,
found out about his very, very religious views.
oh yeah, what? That's definitely a comment for another day. But
Yeah.
anyways, and what was funny about the big thing with DJ, I saw him it was, if you remember game 5, it was Verlander. Needed
Yep.
to get 3-1. Aaron Hicks hits a home run, loudest vibe ever. Hits a home run to tie the game. And
Huge.
with Judge on second, and I think like Glaber walked or something. Then DJ just hit a opposite field power, and the ground was shaking. Everybody was happy at once.
Yeah,
Such a
man.
great
Electric.
story. And then you remember the very next night, the night the Astros cheated, Jose
Yep.
Altuve, fucker, all those Astros. That's the one team I
Such a
never I never thought there'd be a day that I would hate a team as much as the Red Sox. I don't know about you,
Oh yeah,
but the
exactly, bro.
Astros,
No,
it's
but
all for the rest of life. It's fuck the Red Sox, fuck the Astros.
yeah, bro. No, 100%. And like the thing is that they were so fucking smug about it. They were like,
Oh yeah,
they fucking every
cheaters
time they eliminated us, both in 2017 and 2019,
while
they were,
cheating.
yeah, bro, they were fucking cheating. And then they were like, oh, like, well, we just outplayed them and just did all. No, you fucking didn't,
You knew a pitch was coming.
motherfucker. Yeah, bro, that's not. What is this? A video game? Like, what do you have? The slider
Guess
set
the
on?
pitch. Guess the
Like,
pitch
yeah,
on the
guess
show.
what is this bullshit? Guess the pitch. Fuck that, bro. Come on, dude.
They
Yo,
did. I've never was so happy to see the Nats beat them. Like that
yeah,
team
bro.
doesn't deserve any sympathy.
I'm tired.
And the damn pandemic saved them from America just destroying them in booze. I still think that'll be the case.
Yeah, bro. Wait, also, can we talk about the fact that fucking the Red Sox hire Alex Cora in the week during the fucking riots? So it
Yeah,
would go under they literally hired him during the BLM riot. So
people forgot he's back in baseball. AJ Hinch's pitch
bro.
is managing the Tigers too.
Yeah, bro. I know.
Fucking cheaters, man.
All right, we kind of got a little off track, but I love the re-signing of DJ LeMahieu. I love the signing of Corey Kluber. Like the
Yeah,
fact that
you do even with his injury history that some people worry love. You
listen,
still
I
okay?
do. I think it takes a certain fucking alpha energy to handle New York, to handle New
Yeah.
York postseason. You
Oh
gotta
yeah.
you gotta go in. You need the pedigree. And honestly, I think Corey Kluber, he's a pitch to contact kind of ground ball guy. I think to piece together. So basically, obviously, all hail Garrett Cole. He's gonna be our ace. Duh. He's
My
going to
guy.
every fifth day. He's taking the ball and he's gonna get us a W. Like that's just how that's gonna go. But obviously after that, we lost Tanaka, who 7 years of wonderful
Mm.
service. Appreciate it.
I love
Appreciate
Tanaka.
Love Tanaka. Brian Cashman said, to Brian Cashman's credit, they signed that 157, and on that day he signed, he said, "I've signed our number 3 pitcher for the next 7 years." And you know what? Tanaka was everything about that and more. He was a number 2 the entire time, and oftentimes a number 1. So like,
And we
nothing.
trust him in the postseason, with the exception of this past season.
Of
But
course, of
he
course, I
he
know.
was clutch when we needed it.
Yeah, man.
And but Kluber's great. If this works, you have 2 Cy Young Award winners who could pitch well on the top of your rotation.
Bro,
Corey
and then you have
Kluber's
Severino coming back, who
Yep.
everybody seems to forget that Luis Severino exists and throws 97. He
Mhm.
really, it kind of gets me upset. They're talking, like, all these analysts are talking about the Yankees, like, piecing together innings. I know he's out until the middle of the year, but they're like, oh, you have Herman, who hasn't played in a year. Domingo Herman was great 2
Yeah.
years ago. We'll see. Hopefully he'll be great this year. You have Jordan Montgomery. You have Davy Garcia. You have Michael King. You have there's like, listing these people, and I'm like, you're acting like those 7 people that you just listed can't put together, like 2 of them can't be a 4 and a 5. And now Jameson Taillon, if Jameson Taillon
Yeah.
is healthy, bro, like, he is honestly the next Garrett Cole. Like, it's the same
He was
progression.
projected as that. He was at one point the very best high schoul prospect of the game. He got picked in the draft in between Bryce Harper and Manny Machado. And yeah, I know he's had quite a life. I mean, he 2 Tommy John surgeries. I didn't even know that was possible.
I know, 2 Tommy John. I didn't.
He once got hit in the head, a foul ball straight to the head, and he kept pitching the game. I don't know if you heard that.
That's psychopathic energy, but I love it for New York. I just love it so much.
And him and Garrett Cole are apparently best friends. So let's do it. Let's do it.
And you know how hard a worker Garrett Cole is. So if he's best friends with Garrett Cole, I don't think Garrett Cole would be best friends with someone who didn't work as hard as him, you know? So
I like this. I'm excited. I mean, I won't lie. I didn't know who he was until this signing, but been doing a lot of research. I'm excited. He seems ready to go. And, as soon as the Super Bowl ends, it's pictures of catchers. What?
Did you see his interview today?
I heard very snippets, but I have to go back and check it out.
Yeah. I just saw a headline that it was like, I'm fired up and ready to go. Like, being traded to the Yankees has given me a new motivation to be an alpha and everything in life. It was like something like that, and it just got me immediately rock hard. I was so fucking
Let's
amped.
get it.
I'm hyped, bro. I'm fucking hyped. The Yankees are 28 this year, bro. It is our year. That's how it goes. Judge is going to stay healthy. Stanton, who was mashing at the end of the year, is going to stay healthy. Gleyber Torres, huge rebound year. Aaron Hicks, who's fucking playing on the LPGA.
I saw that, yeah.
Hole-in-oneing fucking shit. Dude's nice at golf. He's nice at baseball. I'm so excited for the Yankee season to start. Pitchers and catchers in what, like a month and a half, 2 months?
Yep. I think it's 2 weeks after the Super Bowl, so we're right there. We're right. It's coming. It's coming. And it's just the one thing I just wish is we had some more lefties, but
yeah, we have no lefties. It's true.
I thought maybe, why not? I guess bring back Gardner. Well, one more year. He's earned it.
We need a lefty bat for sure. I was hoping we would trade for Josh Bell, but he would have,
Yeah, he went to the Nationals.
Yeah.
I was hoping Michael Brantley, but he's going back to Houston.
Yeah, Brantley.
Fuck him now, Lord.
Fuck that guy. We didn't want him anyway. Even though he's a really good left-handed hitter.
Yeah, and but just my last question, Andy, what do you do about Chapman though? He's putting us through a lot of stress lately. But I personally, if it was me, I'd put Britton in the closing spot. He had a really great year last year, and they got rid of Adavino, so I guess no more setup man there, no more Canely. So
yeah, I mean Chad Green. But they use Chad all over the place. So
yeah, that guy knows how to throw some innings.
He's good. Chad Green is very good. Arguably if you look back at he was bad 2 years ago, but the last 3 years, he's been arguably our most consistent performer.
For sure.
If you throw out that one abysmal, he started giving up like 8 runs in like 2 innings, and then it was like all downhill. Like 2 years ago. Anyway, Chad Green's nice. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think Chapman is just such a presence. Like to bring, he's always sweating. He's incredible. I mean, he's dominant. Like, and the way he releases the ball
It is scary.
makes 100 look like 105. The issue is that because it looks like 105, it comes off the bat at 120 if it's barreled up. So, and it doesn't happen too often, but when it happens, and especially, of course, the last couple of years, it's been Chapman pitches that have ended our seasons. So
To be fair, one of them Altuve knew was coming.
correct. One of them Altuve knew it was coming. That's very true. At least one. But yeah, I don't know, man.
So you would trust him? You think give it one more shot?
Listen, I mean, obviously, it's a long season. If things aren't everything, the only thing that matters is October for the Yankees because we know we're getting there. Like our roster is just too good to not get there
Right.
over that long a season. I don't know, man. I think Chapman still gets it done. Britton is great though. I have no problem if Aaron Boone needs to give Chapman a little push in the right direction or a little wake up call, giving Britton those the highest leverage inning. Because honestly, the bullpen's developed these days. It's not the bullpen of our past. You put your highest leverage guys in when that leverage situation comes up, whether that be the 5th, the 9th, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And the fact that they're so flexible, Britton and Green especially, is very nice because they're able to eat those innings.
For sure. So, by the way, you're glad no Bauer? I'm happy. Apparently, him and Garrett Cole hate each other back from college.
I mean, I would imagine that they just hate each other because Garrett Cole was like just trying to go about his work and be quiet, and Trevor Bauer was just like in his fucking face about it. I'm sure they're not friends. So apparently, Trevor's going to the Mets. Now, listen.
Wow, yeah, I did hear about that. Mets trying to get a distraction. We know they had quite a few.
They've had quite a few days. I mean, listen, I love the trade for Lindor. I think Lindor's a fucking stud. I mean,
even though Gleyber's our guy, but Lindor's something else.
But Lindor's a stud.
Yeah.
I wanted Lindor to play shortstop and Gleyber to play second, but it's fine. It's okay. So I like the Mets trading for Lindor. I don't hate the Mets. I honestly if the Mets aren't playing the Yankees, I'll root for the Mets.
Yeah, I respect them. The way it works is my family's all Met fans. I'm the black sheep.
You're the black sheep in the family, huh?
So, yeah, my grandpa's a Mets fan, and it was just I just like the Yankees. What can I say? We're starting a new family line that way.
There you go. No, yeah, I get it. My dad sang the national anthem for the Mets in 26 consecutive seasons.
No way. That's awesome.
Yeah, bro. Not every game, but at least a game. Yeah.
All right.
So, I've been to a couple Mets games in my day. Listen, I will root for the Mets unless it's against the Yankees. The Yankees are the guys, of course. But I like the moves they're making. Obviously, they had some personnel issues this week earlier that have to be addressed. And obviously, what
justice was served for sure. Yeah. Glad they made that right away and
had to do it.
Teaches a lesson to people.
I just got the update that Brooklyn won. Because I'm a huge Brooklyn Nets fan too.
Brooklyn Nets. Oh yeah. Man, we can quickly transition. We'll finish on baseball real quick, but the Yankees, respect the Mets. Good luck, but it's funny how I don't know about you, but it seems so many more Mets fans are so cocky lately. They're really living their own world this winter. I just want the Yankees to crush that low key. Let's go with that.
I mean, New York City will always be a Yankee city.
Yep.
It will always be a Yankee city. The Mets are always the little brother. And it's funny because the little brother is, really excited about almost being 500. Yeah, no, it is what it is. I honestly, to transition to basketball really quickly, the Knicks fans have been a little proud. Listen, the number one defense, it looks good. Although I did watch that game with Portland. Last night they looked bad.
What a disgrace. We seen RJ getting you see that block against RJ was embarrassing.
Bad. It was bad. But listen, A couple of my friends who are Knicks fans are getting a little pompous because, the Nets, obviously, they've lost 2 games to Cleveland. But they're figuring it out. They had never practiced together. This is a big experiment, and all that matters is what we're talking about in June. And what we'll be talking about in June is the Lakers against the Nets. And that will be the finals, and I'm telling you right now. Like, I see no other outcome. The Lakers are so good, and the
Yeah.
Nets, I just don't see anybody in the playoffs being able to contain the Brooklyn Nets.
No, with their what are they calling? What's their new nickname? The three of them. What did James Harden say at his press conference?
Oh yeah. They
Something like.
I don't have it. I don't have it on me right now, but like KHK, I guess, or like.
Man, it was like this is like
What was it?
not the
I
big three, but oh man, it's killing me. Because
it,
I'm thinking of it.
If we stop talking about it, we'll probably remember it.
Yeah, we'll remember it. That
That's how to
happens a
trick your
lot.
name into it, is to stop talking about it.
But yeah,
But
so
yeah.
you're happy. You're obviously happy about the big trade.
Oh,
You're
here's
happy
the
you got
thing.
that.
I was very skeptical. Very skeptical because I love Jared Allen and I love
He's
Karis.
gone.
I know, bro. Well, I mean, the crazy thing is that the trade actually saved Karis LeVert's life, because if they didn't do that, medical, Karis LeVert never would have found the tumor he had.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's something else, huh?
Yeah, bro. If he didn't find that tumor, he would have been in real serious trouble. So it was kind of a blessing that they found the tumor.
Right, for sure.
And nothing but love for Karis LeVert and Jared Allen. They also traded Torian Prince, who's a nut. Torian Prince couldn't go. And Rodion Kurucs. I miss Kurucs, bro. I like Kurucs.
So, but even with all those first round picks for essentially the 2020s, you think it will be worth it if all those trades and all this happens, but it gives you one championship at least? You're okay with it?
One championship means we got what we paid for.
Right.
2 championships. No, seriously. I mean, this is a win now, win at all costs now kind of move. And I don't mind it at all. I think it's a good move to position yourself in that position, because now ultimately you have 3 top 15 players in the league, top 12 players in the league on one roster. And it's an incredible thing to watch. If they ever learn how to play defense or defensive rebound, it's going to be a really but yeah, man, I saw the first game, which was Cleveland, and even though they lost, like, it was so much fun to watch.
Oh yeah, that big double overtime game and
Yeah, man.
making moves, and yeah, I'm happy for Brooklyn. Again, if the Knicks were playing, I would want the Knicks, respectfully, as you'd want the same. But as as your friends who are Knicks fans, it's just in our blood. We always get overhyped over the littlest things. Even when we go on a winning streak, it's a big deal.
I just want the Knicks to be good again, man.
Do you know how big? I mean, how big the city's going to be when the Knicks, in particular, are going to be good. Haven't won the finals since 1973. I don't even think the Twin Towers were built yet, and since the last time they won the championship. But obviously, our world's insanely changed, and
yeah.
the Knicks,
I mean,
it's just
wonderful 90s. They had those great 90s teams.
Oh yeah,
ran into Jordan.
That's it. If Jordan didn't exist, he didn't play. They made the finals in between his hiatus to play baseball, and
they ran into fucking Olajuwon, who's just on another level in those 2 years.
Yeah, John Starks, 18 missed field goals, Game 7.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It's just, but yeah, the Knicks. You know how NBA wants the Knicks to be good. I mean, basketball's everything.
They're still like the 7th richest sports franchise in the world or something like that. And they had garbage for so long, which is
everyone hates Dolan. That's just how the name of the game.
Bro, why? It's crazy that he just doesn't take a hint,
He just has the best real estate in the world, with having the Garden in Midtown, and everyone wants to go there, whether in music, whether in MMA now when they pass.
Yeah, the Garden's great, man.
Garden's everything.
It's the Mecca.
What's your favorite Garden memory?
So my first game I ever went to see live was a Nets-Knicks play. I've always been a Nets fan. Was a Nets-Knicks playoff game I think it was 2003.
Yeah, with Stephon Marbury against like
Yep,
J Kidd and all
yep,
that. Oh yeah.
yep. It was 2003. I went and my dad. I was the only Nets fan in the section I was in. We were like up, and everybody else was a Knicks fan. And that was the first time I heard the word bullshit. Like I heard shit before, but I remember thinking, being like, why are they saying bull in front of it? Like I just didn't get it. And like everybody's doing the bullshit, everyone's doing it, and my dad's like, "There's a child here." Like he's trying to like protect my innocence, and like it was the worst fucking. The game ended 82-79. It was like a
Ooh.
fucking low scoring. The Nets won though, so I was
I
pretty
think the
happy about
Nets swept that series if
it.
I
They did. They
memory
won
comes
4-0.
serious. Yeah.
I think I went to game 2 if I remember. No, it must have been game 3 because the Nets were probably the higher seed.
So yeah, the first time I went to the Garden was in '04. It was the Knicks. It was February 4. You want to know what's funny about that day? I went the day A-Rod got traded to the Yankees. I'm not
Yo, that's hype. And they announced it on the board.
No, it was right before it. I mean, probably it did. I just didn't pay attention, and this was before the digital boards.
Yeah,
Know,
of course, of course.
that's how old school it was before the Garden got renovated. Um, and what was I saying? Yeah, it was. This is gonna be cool, actually. If you're a hardcore basketball fan, you know how cool this is. I saw the Knicks play the Pistons, the '04 Pistons, the
Great.
best championship team to not have a major superstar.
Very
Saw
true.
that Chauncey, Ben
Dorian
Wallace, Rasheed
Green.
Wallace. Yep.
Yeah.
Uh, Larry Brown coach. I saw Stephon
Darko was on
Marbury.
that team too.
Hmm?
Darko Milicic, the best number 2 pick of all
Oh
time.
yes. Oh, the craze for that. It was picked after LeBron
And
and what a
picked
failure.
before D Wade and
Mm-hmm.
Carmelo Anthony.
Womp womp womp. But hey,
Crazy.
he won a ring, so I guess
He
it's
did win
valid.
his ring. He did win his ring.
So yeah, so I saw that, and the Knicks won. It was like they won by 4, just about buzzer beater, but it was a cool vibe. I was like, yo, this place is lit, and just the history of Madison Square Garden. They've had
Absolutely.
every
Man.
relevant person since what, the turn of the century, since the
Yeah.
50s at least,
Yeah, man.
all in there. The greatest rock, the greatest music acts, the greatest athletes. If you're into wrestling, greatest wrestling, MMA
All in
came in
one
there.
spot. All in one spot.
It must be so. Like, I just want to ask, like, people who've interviewed who worked at the Gardens, like, yo, you're in the place where like Freddie Mercury and Queen performed.
Yeah,
Or,
man.
like Led Zeppelin. If you ever seen The Song Remains the Same, that concert film.
Yeah. There's definitely an energy in there. When you walk in, you can almost
Oh
feel
yeah.
the walls, like the history in there. It's
You see
crazy.
Kobe have historic games there, and MJ, and then like Messier, the Rangers, all that, man. Wayne Gretzky.
The Reggie.
Oh man, the Nick Killer Reggie.
Killer Reggie Miller. Oh my God. So
Well, Spike Lee even tried to
I know, bro.
change.
Spike Lee tried his best, man.
Oh man, I love Spike. I really do. That's a dream podcast guest for there.
Oh, definitely. You'll get there. Don't you worry.
I believe it. I believe it, man. I've seen every single one of his movies. He's just what's great about Spike Lee movies is that since he comes from humble backgrounds, you can see a movie about people from those areas. So
Absolutely, man. I agree.
if he just feels like a normal, non-Hollywood sucked in filmmaker just doing what he wants.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh man. For real. Yo, Andy, we've been at it for about 2 hours. This is how good this has been.
Bro, it's been a free flowing conversation. I gotta say though, I'm about to devour some Chipotle.
All right. Well,
I tied up perfectly.
perfect. What's your go-to at Chipotle?
Oh, I mean, today I went with I like the carne asada, which is a limited time, because I'm a sucker for steak.
I feel it's been a limited time for like a year now. I don't know. Can't take it for granted.
Yeah, no, I know. Hey man, but yeah, carne asada. I went double meat today because I was feeling spicy.
You have to.
Yeah, man. Bulk season, baby. Bulk season.
Bulk season.
If I want to be a Marvel
No dirty bulking either.
Yeah, no, but clean bulk.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, never. Always clean bulk, bro. I've been going through so much protein powder though. So
Are you a Gold's Way type of person? Are you the
yeah, I
which
mean,
way you go?
Gold whey. I just whey protein, gold. I honestly, ever since I started working at that sandwich shop about 2 months ago,
Mhm.
for some reason a routine clicked in me. It actually like really helped me, and I've been waking up and doing yoga every single morning, and
Really?
like been working out afterwards as well. But doing that yoga is just beautiful for my mental, my mental health. It just starts me in the day right, and immediately I feel every muscle in my body. It's really good.
It really is great. That's what everyone who says like takes it seriously just lets the body genuinely relax, and you
Yeah.
still get a sweat in, and I love it.
It's great. It's a YouTube. I literally just go on YouTube and look for like between 20 and 40 minutes, like right before work, and it's beautiful. It like honestly like helps me so much.
Incredible,
And I
man.
had no idea. I would always laugh at it. And I just like tried it one morning, and here I am. I'm now a yogi.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yo,
Ah,
so Andy, there's just one more thing I want to do before we say goodbye.
bet,
It's
bet.
called and I'm excited for your answers for this. It's called the Prowse Questionnaire. Are you familiar with it or heard of it?
Not at all, my friend.
So, inside the actor studio, great James
Sure, sure. Of
Lipton.
course.
He has his special 10 questions he got from a friend
Ooh,
show that he ends every show with. I just
nice.
want to ask you these 10 questions. It's not rapid fire. It's just, answer as you go. So just
Sure.
10 short but deep questions. So you ready?
Yep.
What is your favorite word, Andy?
My favorite word is potential.
Potential. Now that's a great answer. First one on this. What's your least favorite word?
My least favorite word is impossible.
Hear you. I hear you. Now, this question is a life question. It's not necessarily a sexual question. If you want to
Right.
answer that way, feel free. People did answer that way, but this is more of a life question. What turns
Sounds
you on?
um what turns me on? I would say work ethic, passion, and self-improvement and care.
I like that. That is a solid making of a great human being. So awesome.
So,
What turns you off in this world?
you know what, honestly, cigarette smoking.
Oh, tell me about it. That's the one place that I've been, up until then I've been community man for 5 years, obviously in the COVID break, as I call it. Still,
Right.
so many people smoke so many cigarettes still in New York.
I
It's
mean, it
crazy.
just doesn't make any sense to me. And like it smells awful. And I smoke a decent amount of weed, don't tell anybody. But I don't know. Honestly, what fucked me up was you remember these ads, New York State ads, the vocoder ads.
Oh
That shit,
yeah.
that
You
shit
just
scarred.
so you just see a nice, perfect, regular person, then just next frame.
I
I don't smoke.
I can't talk for 15 years. Yeah, that shit scarred me. I was like 5 years old, late at night watching Nets games by myself, and like that shit would pop up, and like, yeah, nah, that turns me off. Like actually, like in a physical, any relationship, I have friends who smoke cigarettes, and like I like try not to judge them, obviously, but like it's a turn off for me for sure.
Hear you, bro. I really hear you. I guess that ad did exactly what it was supposed to do.
Yeah,
So,
no,
what
yeah, the ads
sound
were.
those ads? You know what was scary about some of those ads? Do you remember when the creepy music? It was like a cartoon, very creepy music. Like I genuinely can't put it on at night. It's just, he's like, smoke this dope or something like,
Oh yeah, and the person's like,
ah, you guys got us, ad council.
yeah, bro, you got us. You made us real scared.
What sound or noise do you love?
Um, Laughing. I love this. I love the sound of laughing.
I love that. I do too. I really do.
Yeah.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Hmm. Um, I hate the noise of nagging. I guess that's not really, but
Mhm.
a nagging presence. I don't like that.
Oh, I support you on your claim. Number 7, what is your what is your favorite curse word?
I mean, the one I use the most is fuck, so I guess it's fuck. There's so many different like connotations. Like I love it. Uh,
Fuck.
Yo, let's fuck, fuck out of here.
I just
I can't fucking believe it. Fuck is probably my favorite.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Um, I would love to be a sports broadcaster.
Hey, all right. Hey, it's never too late if you want to do that side hustle too. Do the
I
Dennis
mean,
Rodman.
listen, I might, I would happily do like live calls of Yankee games with you. I think we'd be pretty funny. No disrespect to Michael Kay or Ryan Rucco, they're the goats.
No, no
All,
disrespect at all, but people would love us. That'd be fun,
yeah, bro,
man.
we'd be electric. We'd be electric. So, yeah, I would
Damn
love to be.
straight.
I would love to be a sportscaster.
All right, all right. What profession that would you not like to do?
Um, I, I mean, like, I wouldn't want to be a, I don't know. I find good in a lot of things. Let me try to figure out something that would not be fun to do. Oh, I'm awful at washing dishes. So like a personal dishwasher.
Mm.
Like that shit I would not. Like dishwashing at any like I work at the sandwich shop and I do literally everything there with everyone except washing dishes. Like can't do it. Like I'm just like not good at it. And it's very easy. Like I know the technique and I'm just not good at it. I don't know why. I just don't have the heart or dedication for dishwashing, apparently.
That's why you're great at other things. And my final question for you, Andy, before we say goodbye: if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Oh, that's a good question. I would like him to say, "Your job's not done.
All right,
Come here and get to work."
let's get it in heaven.
Hey, baby, we gotta get. We're working on that golf game in heaven.
Oh man, probably could go every course ever with that.
Yeah, little Tory Hines, little Beth Page.
Hot, what is it? I can always pronounce it. What Hashnikosh or they've played the
Yeah,
U.S.
yeah,
Open
yeah.
there. Let's go, let's go.
I
But
love
yeah,
it.
Andy, is there anything you you want to add or to say? You have anything else to say before we say goodbye?
Nah, man, just appreciated spending some time with my brother, and I
That's right.
appreciate talking about some really cool stuff and catching up. And
Did you come
obviously,
back again?
of course, bro. Come on now.
Let's do it. I
Yeah,
mean, yeah.
sell that season when I sell that pilot, then we'll really have something to talk about.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
And
man.
everything beyond, especially Yankee stuff and
Oh,
just more
of
all this fun stuff.
listen, if you ever need a hot take from a Brooklyn Nets, New York Yankees, obviously you got the Yankees covered, but a Brooklyn Nets fan or just a ridiculous comedic sports take, you know where to find me.
Oh man, I just get you on just because you're an awesome guest and just good
Oh,
vibes.
come on now.
But Andy, where can we find your content one more time? Can you just plug that in for us before we go?
Sure. So if you're looking to say what up or see any of what I do, which is basically just cheap and shameless comedy and singing, you can find me on Instagram or TikTok at Alessandro Viviano, Gian Gian, very Italian. And
Mhm.
lots of stuff coming. Have a boatload of ideas and just gotta find time and people, amazing people to produce and make them with.
Oh man, rise with that. And
Yes,
anytime
sir.
you need anything to promote, I'm here for you. But
I appreciate
Alessandro Viviano, Andy Viviano, what a great time. You the man. I love you. And let's definitely hang out once this pandemic ends too,
it.
because
Oh
you know we're
hell yeah,
close.
buddy. Oh hell yeah.
All right, man. I'm looking forward to it. But with that, Andy Viviano, you the man, and I'll see you really soon, buddy.
See you guys. See you, Matt.
See ya.